Sorry, I started.
Lovely.
Hey everyone, or rather no one, because no one is here yet. As usual, we can talk about stuff that we want to talk about because
I forgot I
there's
left my fan
one
on.
person. There's one person. No one ever joins
Immediately?
immediately. So usually for the first 20 minutes, I'm like, okay with talking about anything.
Since in this page I can't see like the amount of people that we're watching, it's so easy to just forget that there's people
Watching?
watching. uh, fun times. Hello, whoever that is.
I mean, I just decided that it would be polite to say hi chat
Yes.
and check if the chat is working. My hair looks, I don't know, it's just so weird today. I just hid it behind my back. Um, I
I don't know.
hear
I chose violence with my makeup today for some reason. Like there's no reason at all. No reason. I am tired. I just woke up. I don't know why I chose violence, but here we are. So
um I think you look really lovely. So do you want to tell me what you've been watching recently? Reading
I
maybe?
reading reading. One day I will remember how to read something aside from fan fiction, of course. Um, uh, I watched. I've been doing like crocheting a scarf and a hat for a friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
So I've
remember.
been like looking for stuff to watch like on the TV. So I was just like, I'm not convinced entirely about this drama, so I'm just gonna like watch it in the background. Turned out
Mm-hmm.
to be really good. The most fucking stressful thing ever. It's called Save Me. It's
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix. It's
Mm-hmm.
a K drama
Mm-hmm.
about a religious cult in a small town,
Ooh,
and it's good. Ugh. It's
we
just that
love
I
a religious
watched
cult.
I watched a drama about like actual literal demons attacking people, and then there's this about a religious cult that say that everything is from Satan. If you
Mm-hmm.
put the religious cult on one side and actual literal demons from hell on the other side, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go with the demons. I'm gonna choose the demons. Thank you. Religious cults just freak me the fuck out on a whole entire level.
I mean,
Ugh.
I'm weirdly invested into stories about religious cults or
I
cults in
like
general.
I like cults like but on like the broad terminology of cults that but like Midsummer, for instance.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it is a cult.
but there is something specific that triggers like a fight or flight response in me about Christian cults that has me almost clocking out of everything. The drama was really good. It's follows like four boys and one girl, and she just moved in to a small town from Seoul.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a called town Muji.
Okay.
I don't know why that name sounds funny to me, but um, that
Kind of sounds like a human name.
yeah. And so they moved there, and the brother they're like it's a twin brother and sister, and the twin brother gets bullied like really fucking badly,
Hmm.
and that gave way to one of the best scenes I have ever seen in a K drama. My
Hmm.
girl walked in and slapped a motherfucker out of the frame. The guy just disappeared. He was coming towards her, she slapped him out of the way, and he was gone.
Majestic.
Deleted,
I love that.
erased. It's just what I think I posted it on Twitter as well. That she just comes in with like a carton of milk, just
Hmm.
throws it at him, and
Hmm.
he like starts saying dumb shit like, "Oh, this is your brother. If you want to protect him, you should be like my girlfriend or something." And she just slaps the bitch out of the frame.
Hmm.
Delightful.
Hmm.
Sadly, the guy didn't die from that slap. He should have. And well, it is a little dark because, well, not depends on the context. The twin brother kills himself. So the parents are like, the dad of the girl already lost everything they had from a bad investment, and I lost the cotton swab. Give me a second.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just removing nail polish. Um, so they lost everything, and they became like the perfect prey for the religious cult in that
Yeah,
area.
obviously.
The only thing I think that like there's the male lead, the protect, like one of the boys is like the protagonist. He did an okay job,
Okay.
and like my girl took the show. And there's the best friend that he deserves the goodest boy award.
Mhm.
This boy is so good. He's so
Mhm.
sweet. He's so kind, and
Mhm.
he ends up in prison. And he's so pretty, and I love this boy. And I keep calling him boy, and he's older than me, but that doesn't matter. He's a boy to me. Love him.
And
Um,
he's like 40.
the only
Plot
the
twist,
only
he's 40.
huh?
Plot twist, he's 40.
He's almost 30, I think. He's 29 something.
I mean, I'm
Uh,
29, so I don't oppose it when people call me a girl. I'm like, okay. Not
it's
a
just like
woman.
it's just
Listen,
like age. What is that? We don't know it.
I entered an elevator with a mom and her child. I think it's her child. And the girl wanted like to talk to me, but I was in my headphones, and I literally had nothing in my headphones. But I do this sometimes so people won't talk to me. Usually, like in stores, and I didn't want to like hold them down because it's annoying. I have a mask on, I have like headphones, I have my scarf, too many things because it's cold outside. So she was just like telling the girl like leave this woman alone, like she's busy. And I'm like, woman? I'm now a woman. Usually it was like leave this girl alone, and
Yeah,
now it's like leave this woman alone. And I'm like,
I have this weird phenomena where like children assume I am like an older woman, and older
okay,
people assume I'm a teenager. So
okay.
perception, what the fuck is that?
I advise you to not talk to children in this case.
I never do, but they approach me.
Um,
Something about them thinking I am the local witch. It's fun.
maybe you are. I was on the like Christmas train. I don't celebrate Christmas. First of all, I'm an atheist. Second of all, Christmas is after New Year's in Russia. So we all celebrate New
Interesting.
Year's. Yeah, because it's Orthodox. We all celebrate New Year's, and Christmas is kind of an afterthought. So we all kind of gearing up to like the New Year's. It's the big holiday. But I'm saying Christmas because everyone is saying Christmas. Basically I was watching all this like Christmas movies, and I watched Love Hard on Netflix. Actually it was pretty cute. It's straight though. I watched Les Bomb, which is actually about Thanksgiving, and it eerily reminded me of the Happiest Season, that movie with Kristen Stewart,
I
the
haven't
one
seen
that
it, but I know which one is it.
the one everyone was mad about because it was way more serious than they expected. This one was literally the same movie. It's just less dramatic. It's also about a girl that is not out to her parents and that brings her girlfriend as a friend, but
Yeah.
she plans to come out like during Thanksgiving dinner,
Hmm.
and no one takes her seriously. She's constantly like, "This is not my friend, this is my girlfriend," sort of, and everyone is like, "Oh, she's joking. Hi,
Yeah.
Diane." So
The denial is strong.
yeah, so basically it's more humorous. Watch that. Then I watched Single All the Way on Netflix, which is like this new gay Christmas movie, and it was gay. It was written by gay people. I just know that because of the jokes. And also it had such an iconic cast. Like all the like iconic ladies that gays are obsessed with, they were all in this movie. I loved
Oh,
it. I loved it. I loved it. Um I don't know if you know this actress. She was on Legally Blonde. Well, she's pretty famous. The Stifler's mom. She played Stifler's mom in
yes,
American Pie.
yeah,
The gays
yeah,
are obsessed with her. I'm obsessed
yes.
with her. I think she's iconic, and
I
she's
love
in that
her.
movie. And
I can't remember her name.
all her lines, she's the best. Literally the best. Stealing the
Nice.
show. The love story is also really cute. It's one of those. Um, you've been my friend for like 9 years, and we've had crushes on each other, but we didn't know that we have crushes on each other. That kind of thing. And their family, like the one of this guy's family, because they travel to. Basically, what happens? I need to start from the start.
Hmm.
Basically, what happens is one of the guys is terrible, has a terrible love life. Everyone constantly dumps him, or they are like have issues or red flags. The last guy was married, and he didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
And he is like really annoyed by it, but also his family is really pushy about his love life, and they're like, you should like finally bring someone home, like everyone is paired up and you're not. So he's like, I don't know what to do, like I'm fully like at the rope's end, like I do not know what to do because the guys are terrible, and he lives in LA, and I've heard that the dating scene in LA is terrible. So he lives with his long-term roommate, like for 9 years now, and they're like the best of friends. And as a joke, he says, "You should come with me to my parents, and we should pretend to be boyfriends because they've been pushing us together for a long while now." And this guy's like, "No, like I'm absolutely not doing this. I plan to like stay home and do like a staycation kind of Christmas." But he changes his mind and they go, but they don't pretend to be boyfriends, which was actually refreshing because in these kinds of stories they usually do. They don't pretend to be boyfriends, but the family still is trying to do the matchmaking and like push them together. And the mom, like the dad wants them to be together. The mom wants his son to be with someone else that she met at her gym. And she's trying to set him up with the guy at the gym, and like through like time passes, and like they start realizing that they're actually like kind of into each other and were into each other for a long while, so that's really cute. And I've read a couple of articles that were like it's very delightful and stuff, but very cheesy, and I disagree so hard with it. Like,
That is the point of Christmas movies, to be
First of
cheesy.
all, first of all, it's a Christmas movie. Second of all, romance doesn't equal cheesy. Like, I don't know, sometimes people equate the two and
Yeah.
say like if it's a romance it's cheesy. No. Cheesy is a specific thing. It's not the same as romance. So highly recommend that one. Actually really, really enjoyed that. And I've been thinking about it since, and I was kind of like, should I rewatch or no? Should I rewatch or no?
I'll watch it. That sounds nice.
Also, there are so many coming out, like gay Christmas movies coming out this year. I'm shocked. Oh, I also watched Dashing in December, which was last year, also a gay Christmas movie.
Ooh.
It's about a rancho, and it's very like Christmas cliche type of movie. A bunch of like sapphic ones are coming out. I think Christmas at the Rancho came out already on December 1st. Uh, and there's gonna be Under the Christmas Tree or something like that soon, and I think it's December 10 or something. And it's with Elise Bauman. I don't know if you know her. Have you seen Carmilla, the web series?
Yeah. Well, no, I know about it.
Yeah,
Like, it
love
was
it.
all over
So
Tumblr.
one of the girls from the main pair, the main couple.
The
She's going
blonde
to
or the brunette?
the blonde one. She's going
Oh,
to play in this movie, the protagonist. So I'm kind of really excited. We're finally getting Christmas movies, and I'm like, okay, like I'm feeling it more now. Like I'm more invested.
my mom always demands that we watch Christmas stuff together. So I usually just cycle through the same, like the Christmas classics for us is just like Home Alone. Uh,
Holiday.
what else? That one with Tim Allen, where he's like he uh, takes up the role of Santa.
Oh yeah, I know that one. It's
I
like
keep
a
think I keep
family classic.
thinking those movies I watch them on like in Spanish with my family,
Mhm.
so I keep forgetting the titles in English.
I
Anyway,
mean, I don't remember the title because it's been a while since I've seen it. I watch Home Alone a lot, like
as
every single year. Uh, I watch The Holiday
oh
always.
yeah, I like that. It's one of
What
my mom's
else?
favorites. I think
Yeah.
she watches like all year round, so it's not like a Christmas movie for us.
I mean, it's
Uh,
very snowy.
it's very on the mood for Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, what else?
Grinch.
Oh, and I watch like horror Christmas movies like Black Christmas, Krampus.
There are horror Christmas movies.
One of the first like the best type of like slasher movies is
Mhm,
Black Christmas, the original one, because
mhm,
every single remake after that, Jesus. Um, one went really fucking him, and the other one just like when um PSA level of feminism,
mhm.
so like the wrong kind of way towards that. Okay. And Krampus is really like really funny. It's not actually like a horror. It has like Tony Collette and this other guy.
Oh, icon legend.
It has like a lot of comedians there, and the movie is supposed to be like funny, not like scary. It does have like a few moments that are kind of creepy, but it's good.
How is Toni Collette still not an Oscar winner?
I don't know, with Hereditary, she really deserved that prize. Jesus.
Her whole filmography, honestly. Have you
Mm,
seen United States of Tara? She's amazing in it. Like
yeah.
she fully shows her whole range.
And
Plays like five people.
yeah. I actually thought she did have one, but like my sister was like, no, she doesn't. It was
It's
a disgrace. She needs one.
bananas.
Um, what else? Oh, so that like I usually go from like the classics from my childhood, Christmas horror movies, but now I'm gonna have gay Christmas movies, and that is perfect for me. That is the entire like uh it covers all the bases. Gay, horror, childhood. Sounds good. And
Um,
speaking of gay, I watched it's like a movie from 2009, and
You're
it's
saying that as if it's like a really long time ago.
it feels like it because you know
No,
when
stop
things are
it.
dated that especially because I watched the movie like I couldn't find it anywhere, so I watched it on like Drama Cool, and for some reason it was split in two parts.
Okay, so what's the
So
movie?
it's called Antique Bakery, and this movie
I've
is
seen it.
huh? You've
I've
seen it?
I've actually seen it.
Oh my god, the movie's such a fucking wild ride. What the fuck?
I think there was an anime of it
Yeah,
and a manga,
yeah.
and then
It's it's
a
it's
film adaptation.
originally it's originally Japanese, but they made
Yeah.
a Korean version, and it had like one of I swear to God, I like four men in this entire world, and in it there's just one of them. I just love him. He's the character that is supposed to be gay, and he's
Yeah, there was one character that was supposed
the
to be gay.
gay. They called him the gay of demonic charm. That
Are you
line took me out.
are you coning it? Are you taking it for yourself?
I love that idea.
Just change your Twitter handle.
I have demonic charm. Yes, that's delightful. That movie was so. It was homophobic, but very gay, but it's super wholesome, but kind of weird. Especially with that like plot line of the kidnapping and the
Yeah.
dark past of the characters, and then the little sprinkled in of domestic abuse, and I don't know. It's a lot. That movie's an
It's an unhinged
experience.
movie. I feel like it's
Yes.
really unhinged because of like how sugary sweet it is on the outside and how
Yes.
really fucking dark
And
it
like,
is on the inside.
come enjoy your cakes.
Yeah,
Everybody has
yeah.
trauma in here. So, there's this other thing that is making me like feel the time of the movie. Um, there's the flashbacks of when the protagonist is a child,
Yeah, yeah.
that when he was like kidnapped. The actor that plays the kid, like a 9-year-old kid or something,
Mm-hmm.
that actor, as a grown fucking ass adult, is now on my other favorite TV show that it's called Beyond Evil. So I'm feeling the passage of time. Even if he is what, 2 years younger than me? More, I think. He's like 24, 23 now. And he looks older than me. I will complain about that. He does look older, but he's not. He's younger. And so seeing him, I was not expecting to see him in that movie. He started acting as a child, and he's like the child version of everybody on like most of the drama stuff that I watched beforehand, like Frozen Flower, another incredibly gay and incredibly wild movie that everybody should experience at least
I
once.
just I just love a movie that is both gay and homophobic at the same time.
Yeah,
Like
it's an
I
experience.
need this duality. It's the um
You really need to watch Frozen Flower one day.
it's the versatility, you know?
Frozen Flower is
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen it when I was much younger and I don't remember much of it because the title is very, very familiar. And when you were
it's a
telling me about it, I was like,
it was a
this
period
sounds
it's a period
familiar.
piece. It's a
Yeah, yeah,
period
yeah.
piece, and I love it. I was just thinking like how that's like a very famous movie there. So
Okay.
I have questions about what and then they made I don't know which one is first, Antique Bakery or Frozen Flower, but I would like to know what was going on the
I would like to
LGBT
know
scene in
who's
Korea at the time.
responsible. Who's responsible? Who deserves a hanging?
Mm,
Should we start with Killing Eve?
I think
Because this week, I watched a lot of episodes beforehand, and today I actually rewatched the two episodes that we're going to talk about today.
yeah,
So I'm really excited because also these are my favorite. Like it's the start of my favorite period of the
yeah,
season, like third
same.
part of the season. So I'm real excited about it. You have notes. I don't have notes, but I have my
My
tab.
notes are entirely useless. Literally, one of the last notes that I have on this page is just says gay,
Okay,
like underlined
that's
gay.
very valid. I feel like so
Important input. That is like a
it's
very
very
valid
important,
opinion.
very
So,
valid.
yeah, you
We're
know how
starting
useful they are.
with episode 5. I don't remember the title because I didn't write anything down, and it doesn't
Ah,
matter. What I loved about this episode,
smell
I
you
feel
later.
like smelly. Yeah. Oh, yeah, makes sense. So the first shot is basically what happened in the previous episode. We've already talked about this. Is the I want to call them FBI, but they're not FBI. the the Eve's team, or rather Carolyn's team, found the ghost. and they apprehended her, and they now have her in their office and are trying to make her talk. Uh, Honestly, their methods are very funny to me because no one is going to talk like that. Like, what do you have that will make her talk?
I don't know. It's so funny that when they're sitting watching through like the glass, and the guy's
Yeah, yeah,
just like screaming at her,
yeah.
and they're like, "I can satisfy my wife. Have you seen Mad Men? It's a masterpiece." It's just like fake dubs. Love
I
it.
just love office shenanigans.
Yes.
We already talked about this. I love office shenanigans. It kind of makes me miss the office a tiny bit. Not enough to actually go to work, back to work in the office, but it does make me miss it a little bit. I feel like it's the friendships and like the connections that they have at their jobs. Honestly, it was very funny. Uh, I also love that they give background characters more material to work with. Uh, Eve's colleague, Jin, I think her name is. I think it's Jin.
I can't. Jess.
Jess, something on J. Killing Eve characters. Google is very helpful. Okay, so Aaron Peel. Peel is such a funny surname,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
Geraldine, Amber, Nadia, Elena.
Also, it's kind of like I don't know.
Uh,
Feels a little on the nose for the character.
Peel?
Yeah, because he likes
Why?
to uncover things.
Oh, okay. I never thought about it like this.
I don't know. It's
Um,
probably just a mild like connection or something.
I
But
mean, this character is in so many episodes, and they're literally like no one wants to tell me what her name is. I think it's Jill or Jen or something. What's her name? What's her name? Na, 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 na.
I don't know why.
Okay, I don't know. Whatever. So,
My
sorry.
nails make like a very clicky sound on
Same,
the
same.
screen, and it's so
I love
obnoxious,
that.
and I love it.
It's so obnoxious. I love the sound.
I love to, but it's just
Because
like
I do it for myself
yeah,
when I'm talking to other people.
it annoys my siblings, especially because I type really fast. So I just love doing it to annoy them. But they're growing back. You can see them
Mhm.
sort of getting
Mhm.
there because I broke them like 2 weeks ago or something. I was lifting something like heavy, and it fell off my hands, and I just like ouch. Look down, like 3 broken nails. Sad. Um,
Let's call her Jill or Jen, whatever. So basically, I just love that they've given her a bit more to work with. She's actually really funny in this episode and like has a lot of great one-liners.
just,
Um,
yeah. I'm just
yeah. What
having.
what are you doing out there?
I am looking for the fucking name because otherwise I'm not gonna be like rest in peace.
Oh, you're trying to find
Elena.
the name.
Yes, but
Okay,
it's wait, where is it? Wait, are we on season 2 or 3? I
two.
forgot 2. Okay. Uh, he just named the other one, like Helena. He-
Yes, I know that.
Um,
Not what I'm looking for.
Jesus Christ, where is it?
What's her name? I think it's Jill or Jen.
I've
Something J. It's not
uh,
Jessica. Something
just oh
short.
my God. It's just I know
Whatever.
my brain is not. Yeah, I know, but my brain is not gonna like leave me alone until I know that. So Jess. It is Jess.
It is Jess. Okay,
Yes.
I told you it's J. Anyway, Jess, really funny this episode. Um, Eve is being very weird. I mean, she's
Dramatic.
dissociating a lot. I mean, she's dissociating a lot in these 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and she's like kind of going with the evil flow, like she's like going to the other side, the side that she didn't want to explore. um she says that she wants to try to talk to the ghost, because she thinks that she would be able to, like, um, I
Get
wanted to
her
say
to like,
heal, get her to talk, yeah.
yeah,
But before that, she starts talking about Villanelle, of course, and Jess is like, yeah, oh, they're talking about how boring the ghost is and how she looks like an accountant.
yeah,
And Jess is like, well, you were spoiled with Villanelle, basically. And, like, why are we even talking about Villanelle? Like, that's weird and obsessive.
yes.
And Eve goes to talk to the ghost, and instead of talking like a normal person about the ghost and her work, she talks about Villanelle, which is also really funny to me.
When you're
Uh,
obsessed with your crush and you just can't talk about anything else.
yeah, and it's literally you want to talk about her with every single
Everybody.
person, yeah, everybody. And it turns out, it also interesting, like, a piece of dialogue is she goes with the "is it hard to be a woman in this profession" angle at first, and
Yeah.
the ghost tells her, why do you want to join? And did you notice how um transformed Eve's face was in the moment? She's like,
Yeah.
are you, like, flirting with me kind of vibe? She's like, are you trying to flatter me kind of? She's playing it
Yes.
like that. And I'm like, okay, ma'am. Like, do you
She's
want to be a serial killer? A
It's
hired
just
gun
that
secretly?
this episode's I think this entire season really toys with that idea of that
Yeah,
Eve is not like as, I don't know, I'm not gonna say like innocent, but
clean
she's not
cut.
like as
Yeah,
harmless
yeah, 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 yeah.
as she tries to be. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Eve raised under different circumstances, maybe she would have been just like
Different, yeah.
Villanelle.
Yeah.
So
And she
interesting there.
immediately, like, that change, I didn't notice it before, but I was watching very closely today, and she was all like, ha ha, ha, I mean, I don't know if I would be able to handle it, ha ha, ha,
I don't think
kind of
I have
like
the
that.
stomach for it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm like, Miss Ma'am, Miss Lady, are you, like, seriously?
Considering.
It's not that she's considering, it's that she's so flattered that someone
Yes.
said that she would be able to be like a serial killer or a hired gun or an assassin, And I was
Yes.
like, okay, like, this is a different turn. And then she starts talking about Villanelle. If the ghost knows Villanelle, apparently Villanelle has this name in the business, and she,
uh,
like, people call her the faceless demon.
yeah, Ghost. Yeah, it's 𝕊𝕆𝕀𝔸𝕃, I think. I don't. I can't remember, but I was unrelated to that and more related to the story that I was writing. I was looking for like in mythology for creatures with no face,
Hmm.
and I could only found like a couple, from one from Japan and another from Korea, but they're like very sad. It's what I needed, but not exactly. So I ended up making my own creature.
Hmm.
But the I looked up the actual creature that the ghost
Faceless.
calls Villanelle, and it's
Hmm.
like the ghost. At first, like the description is very silly. It's like a ghost that has no arms, legs, face, or
Hmm.
anything. It's just like a
A
shell.
blob. Okay.
Yes, basically, yeah, a blob. And but there was like another like part of it that said that it was used to refer to people that have they were the ghost of people that had, specifically women, that had no family, no children to mourn them when they
Oh,
die. So
oh,
they're alone, and they
okay.
start kind of like forgetting who they were because nobody like prays for them or reminds them of who they are.
That's
So it's
sad,
like,
actually.
yes. And that's because I was like interested in why they chose to specifically call Villanelle that.
I was thinking maybe because, like, she takes face, as in, like, she's constantly playing a role when she's killing people. She's never herself.
Yeah, I thought of that
But
too. Like at face value, I thought they meant because like she changes her entire like personality and appearance so often. But I think they were because specifically they're trying to like dig into. Yeah, Villanelle is like a little shit. She's very chaotic. She's very fun. She's
mhm,
very dangerous. But hey, did you know that like it's actually very sad her entire existence. So
because she's
I
very
think
lonely.
yes, I think they're like digging in a little bit more on like how sad her condition really is. Even like if she doesn't really feel it, especially later on when they're like uh, she's telling the truth at the what's it, like the AA meeting.
Therapy, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they're like starting to dig in on how sad her life really is,
Mhm,
and especially because like the next season is so focused on like her family and her origin and
mhm.
everything, and kind of like showing you like the human side that she has. And so I thought it was like that she has no, because another aspect I think of the actual like the ghost thing is that it doesn't retain its own like personality. It takes from others.
Mhm,
So like it's a very malleable creature, I think.
mhm.
So I thought it was like along those lines, but maybe it's just like that other side where like they become like that because they have no one to like hold them and remind them of who they really are. And still, I'm just a little curious of why the ghost was so terrified of Villanelle.
I still don't get it. Like,
They
okay, we're going to talk about this because it's not the time, but
yeah
we're going to talk about this. So, it's actually sad now, but it makes sense because they've been trying to build this line of like about Villanelle that she's very lonely actually. Like she has this exciting job that she likes, I guess, but she's bored very quickly with stuff and like she's not satisfied with her life. Since season one, honestly, this show is very intentional, and that's why I love shorter seasons because they only pack in things that are important.
yeah
Uh, so basically, uh, Eve realizes that the ghost is scared of Villanelle, and I mean, I think only part of it is professional, part of it is obviously like personal and emotional. Um, she's been like trying to find ways to connect to Villanelle, but nothing was, you know,
she was desperately like trying to find the
even is
connection back to
even
her.
is interesting in a way because she doesn't want to like she definitely has feelings for Villanelle. She definitely is interested in her. But she doesn't want to admit it as if it's not in a professional context. So every single time there's a professional context that seems fitting, she includes Villanelle. So we know she's obsessed with her, but
Yeah
she doesn't allow herself to like every single time every single time people are trying to like even hint that there is something that is not like outside of the professional interest, she's immediately snapping. the
yeah
only time the only time where she allowed to like so far to admit that she has personal interest is with Hugo,
yeah
when they went to have lunch, dinner, something like,
yeah
remember that
yeah that she
part?
admits that because he seems so like non-judgmental of like
Judgmental, yeah.
weird stuff. So she's just like, well, yeah, I like her watching me, and I like watching her.
Yeah, so that was definitely not professional.
Yeah,
Uh
that was like the very few moments where she admits that. And again, we after like how vague things were with like Hannibal, as much
mhm.
as it fits Hannibal, still is nice in this one since it's a lot more like direct. that we
Yeah.
get more like direct.
I actually
As
really want to
a
talk about
confession.
Hannibal as well because there's some parallels in this episode, I think. Anyway, Eve comes up with a brilliant idea. She's like, "I'm going to hire Villanelle to kill me." So, like,
Oh,
this was like, it's like when a child wants something, like, it reminded me of when a child wants something, but they don't know how to get it, so they literally, like, start talking about it in, like, in the most weird context. As in, like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
children sometimes do this when they're
yeah,
like, they want something, but they don't know how to bring this up in a conversation. They
yeah, yeah.
literally start talking about it in a completely random conversation. That is what Eve was doing. She was like, I want to see Villanelle. Let's bring her in. And
She can
we're going to
totally
do this.
help us with this case.
Yeah, yeah.
She's like a vital part of the case, okay?
And there's literally no evidence that Villanelle doesn't want to murder her after she stabbed her, that
Yeah,
she forgiven her. Like, no evidence at all. Like,
yeah. I was going to say that maybe she thinks she's not going to kill her because of the distress call from the start of the season. Like she wants to see, but I don't think that.
maybe.
Um,
I mean, that's not enough evidence that
Oh,
she's not
and
going to kill her.
right after she was talking to the ghost, this is like the what is it like? I know it was like at the very start of the episode. I think that it starts with Eve killing somebody. Like
Eve?
Villanelle. Sorry.
Yeah, Villanelle killed a guy in the
Car wash.
car wash. Yeah.
And I love because at least like the version that I have of the episodes, it starts with like a little um recap of like the past episode.
Yeah.
And it like you see Villanelle so distressed because she had an emotion,
Mm-hmm.
and like when she's crying with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
beautiful green robe, and then it cuts off to her killing the guy in
In
the
the
car.
most violent way. Honestly,
She
she
was
was
like,
so violent.
yeah, she was I don't know, getting something out of her system. So there after the conversation with the ghost, it cuts to Villanelle being a dick to like one of the guys that are like human statues and something. So
Hmm.
they Constantine pays her, and she says, "Did you see the guy's license plate? I would have killed him for free." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait." And I scrolled back on the episode,
Okay.
and I googled like, "What the fuck does the license plate mean?" It means
Yeah.
horny in Welsh. So I was like, "Yeah, I would have killed him for free too."
He deserved it.
That
Truly.
was so funny. Um,
This is a crime against humanity.
oh my god, I have seen so many things on license plates. Lovely. Then there's the brilliant idea of hiring Villanelle to kill Eve,
Hmm.
and Constantine goes to pick up like the assignment from her, and she's so mad. She's so mad when he gives her the picture.
I think it's like two things. She's mad that she's kept in the dark about the orders, and like she feels like Constantine is plotting something on the side. Similar thing is happening with Carolyn, and of course we've seen the show, we know what's going to happen, but we know that they are plotting something together. Honestly, looking back, they've plotted this whole thing that
Yeah.
happened. Um, Villanelle is upset, and then she opens the like paper, sees Eve, immediately pissed off. She's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
And
Um,
then Constantine goes and says like it's just a job. You're gonna kill her and you're gonna be over her in a week, sir. She didn't have a whole entire breakdown for you to say that she's going to be over that woman in a week.
thing
Rude.
is, he knows what he's doing. He knows that she's not going to be over her in a week. They
Yeah.
just need them together in one place. Um, they both Carolyn and Constantine hope that they both are invested enough to go along their plan. So like this whole thing about, oh, I actually care about your like safety, or like I'm trying to see if Eve is maybe too invested in Villanelle, and Constantine telling Villanelle that she has to kill Eve and she's gonna be over her. Those two things are ploys. Like they're not real. They're just trying to edge them on
Yeah.
so they would meet. Um,
And I keep
and
wondering if
I'm very grateful for that.
yes.
Thank you.
I,
It's been a while.
yeah, we're grateful for that. I do wonder if at this point, Carolyn began to like assess Eve as a threat. Like if she's starting to consider like, well, she does seem rather fond of murder. She does seem like overly interested in female serial killers, and specifically the lengths that she goes for Villanelle. Kind of suspicious.
I think Carolyn fully knows that Eve is obsessed with Villanelle. She knows that Eve stabbed Villanelle, that's for sure, because
Yeah,
Constantine probably told her. She knows that there's a connection between them that she can use. I don't know
yeah,
if she knows the length of what at what Eve is willing to go to like be in Villanelle's orbit. I'm not sure if Eve herself knows yet,
yeah,
but anyway, so basically uh Eve orders herself. She's like, "Babe, you're so hot. Please come and murder me." Um
yeah,
Literally. It's interesting the reactions of her colleagues to that, because Jess, the two people that she should have listened to are Jess and Kenny, because Jess tells her a very important detail that Eve decides to ignore. She tells her that every single person in their office has a lot of paperwork,
yeah.
and if Eve doesn't have a lot of paperwork, it means that someone wants the things that she does to be out of, like, not to not
Yeah,
be written at all.
that she doesn't. That somebody doesn't want like a paper trail
Paper
on
trail.
her.
Yeah,
So it's like if they're allowing you to do this, it's not because you're special. It's because they're like probably going to like risk
set
you the
you up
most.
later. Yeah.
Yes. And that was a
Um,
very good advice. At first, I was just like, "Why are you mentioning the paperwork?" And then, like, that made sense when she explained, like, you
yeah.
should be careful. Somebody doesn't want
She's a really good
to like.
friend.
She doesn't. Yeah, somebody doesn't want you to leave a trail here so they could like throw you under the rug later if they need it.
Immediately.
And poor Kenny. In general, like these two episodes, he's stressed.
Also, Kenny is the voice of reason, not just Eve's voice of reason, but also our voice of reason, because he's like, remember when Villanelle killed Belle? Because we forgot about it.
At that moment, Eve is like, "Damn, I was so horny, I forgot she killed my friend."
And then she immediately gets angry because she calls her out, he calls her out on
Yeah,
her behavior. He's like, I cannot, like, the thing that he says, like, the specific thing that he says is like, um, I don't even know how you could think that. And I feel like he says, I don't even know how could you think that you could work with Villanelle on our side, but also how could you even be attracted to her? I think that's how
I
Eve
think
reads
most of the
that.
conversation about Kenny because Kenny can like see the
Hmm.
truth behind like her obsession. So he's like very upset that she's even considering like being close to her. That at first she was like on the first season is like I'm gonna kill her with my bare hands and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
he's starting to just like truly see how
He didn't know that what she means is 𝕊𝕆𝕀𝔸𝕃, not anything else.
exactly. So he's like, I don't know if you want to run away with her or kill her or let her kill you. I am confused and I am worried. So please stop. He seems like the best friend trying to stop you from returning with your really, really toxic ex, only
Hmm.
to then realize that, hey, maybe you're also part of the whole
Maybe you're
toxic
also
wasteland.
toxic. Yeah. So basically, I feel like she at first listens to him, but then when he says this specific phrase, like, I don't even know how you like would allow yourself to think that, like, to even consider that. She
It's
goes
just,
aggro because we've talked
yeah.
about that she doesn't allow other people, like, doesn't want to other people to see that she has something, like, she has personal stuff with Villanelle, not just professional stuff. And she goes full boss. She's like, "Oh, I'm firing you from the department
Yeah.
because you're actually too smart to be here, and I don't want to feel any shame about anything that I
She
decide to do."
she's so like focused on like I will bring Villanelle into this that she keeps like justifying I don't know for whom, like herself, everybody else or whatever. She keeps like reinforcing that this is purely professional.
Mhm.
And every time like Kenny's like we both know this is not professional. We both
Mhm.
know you're not bringing her in just
Mhm.
because like you
Mhm.
need help or something.
Mhm.
And then even like Jess is also like okay,
Mhm.
yeah, don't you think your obsession is getting a little out of hand here? And
Mhm.
even like Hugo, like before we have seen that she admitted to have like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
like intentions there, and this time when he's like feeding her
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
bulletproof vest, he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what are you two going to do?" And she gets mad. And she's like, "This is a
Yeah.
professional operation."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, "All right, sure, let's
Yeah.
pretend that we believe that." Now, and she goes, I think, yeah, she goes
I
home
mean,
with
there
the.
are a couple of things that happen before that.
Oh yeah.
The first thing that happens is Villanelle asks for room service.
Oh
She's
yeah.
dressed in all black,
Oh my god, I love
clearly
that.
mourning, like drama queen, mourning before stuff happens. The poor guy comes with champagne and sees her face. He's smiling. He's so happy. Sees her face, immediately grim. And she forces him, I suppose, I think, maybe she paid him for it, to pet her hair.
She's oh my god, I just love that this whole her attitude the entire episode. She's so dramatic and so
Mhm.
weird with this whole because we already knew she was not going to kill her. And I think she already knew, but she was like, I don't know, playing along with the whole I'm going to kill
Yeah, she
you and
just
mourn
wanted
you
to
and
feel
whatever.
sad.
Oh
I
god.
don't think I
She
don't
was
think that she
cosplaying
even thought
sad.
I don't think she was even thought for a moment that she's going to kill her.
No, she was probably just going to go there and like figure out, hey, somebody ordered a hit on you. Why somebody wanted to kill you?
Yeah.
And she saw that as like, hey, it's an opportunity to approach her again. Yay!
Yeah.
And Constantine can't say anything because it's my job, so I have the right to approach her.
Hmm.
And that was an excuse. And the
Yeah.
dress, the shoes, the
She
veil.
also sends Eve flowers
Yeah, a flower arrangement with her
with
name.
her name, Eve.
Nice.
And like, no, let's talk about this. So basically, Eve comes home first, sees Nico, asks about his day because that's something that you do with when you're married. Asks him about his day. He says it was not bad. She clearly had a good day, and she's like, "Oh, mine was also not bad." But she's really excited because Villanelle is coming into the picture soon. And also, let's. I want to remind you of the fact that she kisses Nico on the forehead. because
They would have.
they are
I
a married
sustain
couple.
this. I sustain that they should have just been friends. They would have been such great besties if you, because it would have removed the bitterness of being married for them.
I think they wouldn't have been good friends. I think actually Eve is using him, I don't know for what, but for company, for something. Like she's settled, clearly. She thinks she's settled. And she's like using him. I don't think she was fair to him. Let's put it like that. I mean, he's
Yeah,
not a bad guy. We were trying to figure out what it is about him, but I guess he's not a bad guy, and she doesn't really love him.
I broke my
So,
ring.
did you feel very emotional about what I was saying?
I was like trying to fix it. It's a very cheap ring. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. I don't even know what it's made of, but I just broke it. It's just like a snake
Mm-hmm.
thingy, and I was trying like, okay, there's two pieces separately now. I actually completely broke it now.
Disaster train. Yes.
I am a danger to myself. I'm gonna pretend it's not broken and
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah. So she like treats him as given, like she's not happy that he's with her. She's like, it's like my basic, I don't know. When you like the analogy that I want to make is when you start playing an RPG game and you have like uh certain basic weapons, basic like
Yeah,
visuals. So basically for her, he's like this entry level, like this basic, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like she followed all the steps of what she should have.
yeah.
That is like a nice husband, a nice house, a nice job.
Mm-hmm.
But the wild side is calling her,
Well,
and the game.
what's also interesting to me? They've never had children.
Yeah,
It's not
but
even
it's
discussed if they tried or not.
Nico does seem like the
Like
type to
children.
want children,
Yeah.
and they never had that conversation on the show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it would have been for the best.
I
Uh,
mean, it's just interesting to me why they never even talked about it. Because at
Eve,
their age, you would expect them to have at least one.
yeah, Eve probably said something about her career or something,
Maybe.
or that I don't know,
Even
because
Carolyn has
usually,
children.
yeah,
One.
two.
Which is actually surprising when you think about it.
She has
Two.
two.
Yeah, she has two children.
To be fair, they didn't even mention the other one until like the next season, and it came as a
They made
surprise
her
to
up.
everybody.
They made her up later.
They made her up, but she's such a
I love
she's
the
like
actress.
but she's like Nico, where the only normal person with like
Person in
normal
the family.
feelings
Hmm.
feels weird in this context. So the other one seems like Nico's like the nice husband that would fit perfectly on any other type of show,
Hmm.
but in this one it doesn't. And
He'd be
then
like he'd be like a fun dad in like in a
a Disney show.
comedy TV show,
Yes,
like
a rom-com. Yeah.
yeah, not a rom-com, but like what are they called? Like the short comedy TV shows. Um,
Oh.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
I
family
can't believe I broke
shows.
my fucking ring.
So basically, she kisses him on his forehead, which is to actually indicate how hot their relationship is. We've seen them not having sex for a long time now.
Yeah.
And then someone uh, is at the door. She thinks it's Villanelle immediately. And she goes. Oh, he tells her that he has to go to this Oxford spelling bee thingy with his kids at school. Obviously, it's a setup. So he would be away from the house. She tells him to go. She's very excited about him, and she goes to check the door, and it's the present from 𝕊𝕋𝕀𝔸𝕃. She is making it known that she got the order, and she like looks at the flowers, and Snap immediately turned on. Immediately, her face changes. She's like
Yes.
feeling herself immediately. And we know that it's not because Nico, because she gave him a forehead kiss. And
Yeah.
like sex was not on the table. After she sees these goddamn flowers, which honestly flowers are great, but like they're not especially they're not an
Sexy.
aphrodisiac, you know? They're not especially sexy.
Yeah.
It's not a sexy dress, a perfume, and or even lipstick, you know? It's just flowers. But she's so like I feel like it's because she's like she got 𝕊𝕋𝕀𝔸's attention back again. She's like, "Oh, the game is on and I'm turned on because of it." And she like goes into the kitchen and is like, "You know what? Let's go to bed." And the audacity of this man is like, "Oh, I ate so much food." I'm like, "Dude, this is your last chance. This is your last
Run.
chance. You do not understand. Don't walk, run." And he's like, "What am I, an idiot to like?"
Yeah, exactly. We all agree that, sir, you would have been an idiot to say no. So, like, get going. And I did remember seeing, like, I remember seeing somebody on Tumblr that said, well, Nico is basically just a substitute for a sex toy at this point. On this episode and the next one.
He's not the only one, and we know it. We know it.
Yeah.
He's not the only one. She kind of has a habit of using what's at her reach, you know,
Well,
a human that is close to her.
the nearest dick she can find. Oh no. But
Like,
yeah, go on.
yeah, so basically that happens. He goes to the spelling bee thingy, and then we get like the jacket conversation with Hugo and the conversation with no, we also get what? Their relationship is set to watch because they're both good people. At least they went out with a bang. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel bad for Nico, but
Oh.
we're going to figure
Yeah.
out later. So basically, we also get a very interesting scene. Carolyn hires a professional, a psychiatrist, I
Oh
think,
yeah.
to come in to the office and tell her employees about psychopaths and how they operate. It's secretly a test for Eve specifically to figure out if she's too attached to 𝕊𝕋𝕀𝔸𝕃. I think the answer that Caroline wanted is Eve is extremely attached to 𝕊𝕋𝕀𝔸 and she's very satisfied with the answer. The guy that comes in is worried though.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about that presentation. That PowerPoint is iconic.
Yeah.
Absolutely iconic. Absolutely iconic. It's quotable. It's legendary. It's chaos. It's everything.
It is.
Love it. Love it. It starts with a car and like a title, like the background is a car and there's a title on it, and he's like, "Ignore the car. I don't know how to
change it."
change it." So funny to me because it reminds me of like elderly professors that are really shit at technology.
Exactly. Also, the font that they use to write psychopaths is like very classic PowerPoint like font. It is just so like it looks so ridiculous. At first, I thought like, okay, this is the stereotypical like mediocre guy that they sent just like to give a random like half-hearted explanation of something. Yes, but it was so clever when he explained that it's just like if you look uh like I
Yeah.
don't know, clueless, mediocre, people are going to act more superior and like not bother to hide things.
Hmm.
And that was a very
Observation.
interesting technique.
Yeah, he hid like a secret, like it was not a secret picture, but he had a secret in this presentation. Basically, it was a regular dumb presentation, and he said that it is dumb on purpose. Laughed at the moment when there was a picture of a psychopath, not a picture, like a drawing of a psychopath, and the next frame was a person cooking in a pot. Lost my shit. Um, then there's a picture of a dead person.
Yeah.
It is very bloody, and every single person in that room looked away. It is an instinct. But Eve was nonplussed, like nothing happened. Uh, First sign that he decided to talk about with Carolyn, and the second frame is of Villanelle, where he calls her a psychopath and says that she's a liar and basically like
That
degrades
she's
her.
yeah, that she's has no feelings, that she's not capable of love, that
Yeah,
she
yeah.
doesn't care.
Mhm,
Everything
mhm,
about her is just like
mhm,
fake and superficial.
mhm.
And like that is what got like
A
Eve
reaction. Yeah.
irritated.
Mhm,
And then she goes to explain like, oh, psychopaths are not capable of like actual emotions. They're very like shallow and not capable of forming relationships.
mhm.
So they're impossible to like control, or they can be manipulated with like praise and I don't know what else it says,
Money,
money and
money, attention, not for long.
yeah, but it's just like for a little while. And Eve goes like, "Oh, but it is possible to control them,
Yeah,
right?" And he's
for a
like,
short amount of time.
"Ma'am, how about you don't attempt that? How about you
Yeah.
don't try? How about you
Mhm.
don't?" And
I mean,
uh,
if we're talking about a broader topic, the way society sees psychopath, I feel like there needs to be a reboot because obviously I feel like more people are psychopaths that we know of, but like they're socialized better, so the only psychopaths that we know or that we talk about are people that commit crimes. Um, like it's interesting that we say like they are void of humanity because it's like a
it's just
weird thing to say about a person, you know?
there's this thing where psychology has like continued to like try to refine the and narrow down the um what they call it now, antisocial behavior. It's just
Mhm.
like for most and pretty much everything in psychology, when it is classified as an illness, it's because it gets on the way or it affects you or others.
Mhm.
So in this case where society and like media specifically, because well media has a great influence on people. Like most people know what they know about psychopaths from horror movies,
TV shows,
from thrillers,
crimes,
from
etc.
crime shows. So they don't like there's very few people that actually like go investigate when they're not like it's not part of their job or their career or something. Like it has nothing to do with them. So people don't really like look deeper. So in this like in this instance, the man is telling you, like the psychiatrist in the show is telling you like the broad um key points that everybody should know about
Mhm.
psychopaths. It's
Mhm.
just like if you ask any random person in the street, like, what is a psychopath? Oh, it's just like, oh, somebody that has no like no empathy. They kill people. When like of
Mhm.
course the actual real like diagnosis is very different. And the thing is when there are like different things. Like for instance, psychosis is a loss of like connection with reality. It can be, it can present itself in a broad different ways. So when they try to say psychotic equals murder, that is like a very wrong assumption. And it's so like ingrained in media and pop culture that is very, very difficult to like keep them apart. So when because it's not that the psychopaths are like very common, it's a lot of how do I say it? It's a lot of factors. Like people are, that is true to some extent. People are more desensitized to things. And for instance, I can watch the just the other day I've been watching videos from like the Anatomy Institute. So they're like they have dissected people,
Got it.
and I see it in a medical way. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go over and like dissect somebody. So there is like the capability of somebody to see blood and gore. There's the ability to like not care. For instance, I don't know. If you like go driving down the road, there's people that can't see like roadkill. Like if they so a dog gets run over or something, there's people that are not going to care. There's people that are going to like just like avoid it, and there's people that are going to cry about it or like feel terrible about it. So it's a spectrum of empathy that it's very how do I say it? Different these days. It's not as black and white as people say, and there are I think the key point here is that you don't need to be a psychopath to kill people, and
Psychopath doesn't equal murderer.
exactly,
That's what we're trying to say.
like, and there's people
Also,
that
psychopath doesn't equal bad person.
exactly, and that there's people that are killing others and they're not like ill in any way. They have their own agenda. They kill for money, they kill for religion, they kill out of jealousy, and that doesn't mean that there is an underlying psychological issue. It's just a moment of disconnection because it all boils down mostly to the ability. I think that is like the most dangerous characteristic. It's the ability to disconnect the humanity from others, or like the empathy and sentience of others. Um, People can like kill an animal if they think the animal doesn't feel anything or doesn't matter or doesn't think. Same with other people. Like I can kill somebody else if that person is a criminal, if that person is abusive, if that person is less than me in some sort of way. So it's a little more complicated, but usually media and like TV shows try to like simplify it.
Goes hand
So
in hand.
we get like this version where psychopaths are serial killers and all serial killers are psychopaths. And it's an association that it's going to be so fucking difficult to separate that most people, if not like the majority, kind of gave up on trying to like separate them, and they just let it go, like the idea. However, like we are getting a little bit of an improvement where people that are advocating for like the good representation of mental illness are like, hey, how about you stop saying in your thriller that your serial killer is schizophrenic? How about you stop saying that this person murdered so many people because they were depressed? How about you stop saying, because uh, that association and that generalization is what often causes problems for others. Like people assume with being bipolar, people either assume it's a very extreme and very dangerous illness, or others assume it's just like, oh my god, I just have mood swings, and I change my mind a lot. So they words have lost a lot of weight, specifically with mental illness. There is, for instance, in Mexico. and it's exhausting. When the term toxic was starting to be used to refer to like abusive aspects of relationships, everybody in my country took it as a joke. There's couples walking around with T-shirts that say, "We're toxic, get over it," or just like, "She's my toxic, he's my toxic," and
Yikes.
there's bars named after that. There's a bar a few streets like from here that it's called the Toxic, like La Tóxica, and it's just like
weird choice, but
the
okay.
entire premise is like, oh, where are you at? Oh, I am with. It's just it sounds better in Spanish, but like, ¿dónde estás? La Tóxica. Like, oh, you're seeing your ex. No, I'm at the bar. And jokes like that it makes me angry sometimes. But it's just
I think people will always do this with every
yeah,
single concept. It's kind of inevitable, especially if you make it popular. I think it's just the downside of making something a conversation piece. As in,
yeah,
people were not talking about mental health a lot like 5 years ago, but now everyone is talking about it a bit much, in my opinion. But and because of that, there is the other side of the coin where people are like, oh, it's a popular thing to talk about, let me talk about it even if I'm not a part of a conversation, you know.
it's like trivializing very
Yeah,
serious
yeah,
issues.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there was something else that they grabbed. I can't remember. It's just like, oh my god, the sense of humor we have here. It's just something else. But
it's like
I can't
the
remember.
it's like the I came out as street jokes. I now
All the triggers.
my gender is helicopter, whatever. Like,
Yes.
people would always use stuff that doesn't make sense to
People are so
make fun of
annoying
others,
sometimes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
They will never waste an opportunity to be a dick.
I mean, we do know that psychopaths can use their traits for good, like with the number of ASPD people in surgery and healthcare because they can handle the stress.
Yeah.
That's true. So the stigma in real life is quite unfair. Most ASPD sufferers are probably quite mundane and probably are not telling it to other people.
Mm.
So moving on.
Yeah.
The guy that they hired, Carolyn hired, catches her up with her at the library. He tells her that he's worried about Eve and he doesn't recommend recommend Eve to work with 𝕊𝕆𝕀𝔸𝕃.
Yeah.
Carolyn is happy. The best line that she has in this episode is, why your pants are so tight? Is it a cry for help? So I laughed about that. But
Yes.
she basically starts talking about something else and is being weird. Like, she's not telling him what she thinks about his diagnosis, or like his, you know,
Opinion.
something. Yeah, his opinion,
Professional opinion.
professional opinion. And she's really happy because Eve um, gave her something that she wanted. As in, she hoped that she's really obsessed with 𝕊𝕆𝕀𝔸𝕃, which is true. Basically, Eve starts talking to Carolyn about like what's gonna happen if 𝕊𝕆𝕀𝔸𝕃 will try to kill me, something like that, along those lines. If I'm gonna be on my own or something. And Carolyn evades the question. She's not telling her outright that she literally wants to set her up. And we're moving to the most interesting part of this episode, which is um, Eve goes back home from work. She already is dissociating and already thinking too much about what's gonna happen. She's in her jacket. She's itchy. She wants it off. And a guy pushes her at the train station. And she completely dissociates. I think it's like a line that they're trying to build when they start talking about her wanting to be a killer. then they show her actually
That
contemplating it.
I felt that. Not like murder type, but there's this moment where there is a direct line from your movements to the instinct that you have.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like your brain gets like frozen for half a second, and your impulse has a direct line to your actions. So it's just like you're doing something, but you're not exactly thinking it, but you know what you're doing. So she's almost pushing him.
Thing
She
is,
wants to push him.
she's actually a very angry person.
Yeah.
She hides it well, but we've seen her very angry before, and when she's angry, she's capable of many things that we didn't know she's capable of. That
She
time
does
when she broke the glass, that time when she stopped Villanelle. Uh, what else?
she has
This
very
time.
ruthless instincts that I sometimes to me like instincts do say a lot about the first instinct that you have says a significant amount of like the state of mind.
Mhm.
And because of course like what matters is if you stopped that
Mhm.
instinct, but that instinct is telling you something from the start. So in her case it was we had also have seen it before like yeah, like well like you said with the glass, but also like with like little weird things like with the lipstick when she gets the cut,
Yeah.
she presses on the cut and then like smears the blood
Yeah.
a little. So there's this like those moments where because in general I think the only thing stopping Eve from going crazy is that she keeps pausing herself from doing something. She manages to
Mhm.
stop
Mhm.
before she like jumps
I
head in.
mean, at this point, we can definitely say that she's turned on by danger,
Yes.
and uh, she can be very violent in the moment. Like when she gets very angry, she can be very violent.
Yeah.
Um, these are two very important things in my opinion. I actually would really love to know a little bit about her childhood because we've never seen her like any flashbacks to her childhood, any discussions about her childhood. And I think she was either very repressed, as in like her parents repressed her and like she wasn't able to do stuff that she wanted to do. I don't know. Or
And
maybe she was actually pretty violent and was like reprimanded for it.
yeah. So she's like she started to act very nice
Mhm.
and got stuck on like, oh, I have to be nice.
Mhm.
And kind of went on like that. Could be.
Mhm. Mhm.
Actually, I would like because like season 3 focused a
Mhm.
lot on like
Villanelle.
Villanelle, her past, and why she's like this. I think season 4 should do that for Eve because we
Mhm.
do have that like missing chunk. We do see her talk to her mother a few
A
times.
little bit.
It was just like a tiny bit on this season and a little bit more, I think, on season 3. I think she only like talked to her mom on the phone and that's it. And so we do like have that gap of not knowing like that
Well, we
behind
know
on
we
her.
know that she has a mom. That's it.
Yeah,
We don't
but
know
we
much
like
about their relationship.
yeah. And what else? So that moment she almost pushed the guy into
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of a parallel to the next episode a little bit with what Villanelle does. But
Actually, yes. Actually, yes. I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
I just realized that yesterday when I was watching
They're
like the
very
episode.
they're very intentional with like how episodes are made, or rather what scenes are in what episodes, because the 5th episode of season 1 also had them together in Eve's apartment. That was
Yeah.
the episode, and this episode also. So basically, Villanelle, Eve comes home. She's fussing about her like outfit because it's a date. She's fussing about it. She decides to take the jacket off. Here's the door. Goes to the door, and it's Villanelle, of course. Villanelle is such a dramatic ass bitch.
But that that outfit. And when she was like walks in, it's just like, can you take off your shoes? Her just like leaning on the
Seriously.
wall, taking off the shoes. She looks so nice. Ah,
I mean, I don't love this dress. I'm not going to lie.
I adore it.
I feel like it's a bit shapeless. Like it's really the top is very nice, like
Yeah,
the sleeves, but when we go down, it's kind of nothing. And I wanted it to be snatched a bit more. But
yeah, that would
that's
have been
me.
nice. But I still love kind of like the. I feel like you were thinking more of a dress like Morticia's.
Yeah.
Yes. But I still like it. It looks kind of like witchy, specifically for when she's walking with that dress on the forest. That
In
that
Mulan.
I need her to play an evil witch somewhere. I need that. Black
I
magic,
mean,
her being gay, being a witch. I need that in my life. Somebody please make it. If not, I will write it. I will try.
basically, she comes in. I love her wail, and I also love
Yeah,
how much time she spent putting her outfit together, and we see her putting on makeup. It's a date. It's a date.
it
So
is.
she comes in, uh, and like they're immediately like they don't immediately want to acknowledge that Eve stabbed Villanelle the last time they saw each other, and they go to the kitchen and start talking about like basically why Villanelle is here, and that she was ordered to come murder her. But the conversation also jumps back to their actual conflict, so it's kind of professional and personal at the same time. So Villanelle asks if Eve is going to say sorry for stabbing her. It honestly makes sense to me. Like, you stabbed the person. But also at the same time, they did each other dirty many times, so they should be even Steven, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, Eve says no, but they actually, like, this is a serious conversation. This person was stabbed. But they turn it sexual very quickly. They're like, I'm thinking about it every single day. Like, I've been thinking about it every single day since. And the other one, I can't stop thinking about it at the same time.
I
There's some
know.
face touching. The tension is real. You can cut it with a butter knife. Like,
It's I just I love that the scene starts with like this awkwardness when you're talking to somebody you had a fight with.
mm-hmm,
Like, of course, normal people will just like, oh, we argued. In this case,
mm-hmm.
I stabbed you, but let's try to move past
Let's
that
move on.
and be civil with each other.
Mm-hmm,
And Villanelle is trying to be like very cool, like I'm going to do my job. Don't try anything stupid and
mm-hmm,
stuff like that.
mm-hmm,
But they're both on the verge of crying like quite a few times,
mm-hmm.
and um, there's champagne. She's
Yeah,
like,
Villanelle brings champagne.
of course,
She asks for glasses, and of
just
course,
like
Eve,
coffee mugs.
the perfect housewife, doesn't have glasses. She has caps, like teacups, and Villanelle kind of laughs a little bit about it and gives her champagne and asks her to drink it. And Eve is constantly reading the drinking, and because she's scared that it's poisoned, obviously. And Villanelle tells Eve tells 𝕊𝕂𝕋 that she was the one to order ahead on herself. Eve, 𝕊𝕂𝕋 immediately is like, "You're fucking stupid. You're so fucking stupid. I can't even. Like, what if I just run you over with a car?"
or shot you, like from the
Yeah,
distance or something. And but of course she has to be dramatic. And what is more fitting of that dress that
that
I'm vibing
poison.
with than Poison? Ah, love it. Favorite things, both of them. Poison and dramatic dresses. She pulls out like a very cool uh, bottle
Vial.
of pills.
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was just like, oh, liquid poison. But no, they were like pills. And she says,
Pills.
oh, take them and take the champagne. The champagne, it will help with the taste.
Hmm.
And she's like starts taking the pills. She's
They
so she's
are.
so mad.
They are like. They're trying to like play a game of chicken.
And I was just going to say that it's like chicken but with murder.
Yeah,
Uh,
because Villanelle is like, "I'm serious. I want to murder you," and Eve is like, "I know that you're bluffing," but she doesn't really know if she's bluffing or not. Actually,
so she's taking the pills and taking like a brief pause in between the pills. It's just like, are you gonna stop me? Are you gonna stop me? Are you
yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
let me drink this poison? Are you gonna let me take it? And she keeps like taking them.
yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, because Villanelle is a dick, she's like, oh my god, I can't believe you've done
You're
this.
fucking stupid.
Why would you take them? I didn't think
Hmm.
you would take them. Get them out! Get them out! Oh my god. She panics and runs to puke in the sink.
Drama,
Oh
drama.
my god, she's such an asshole. I love her.
Then we
And
get a sexy knife to the titty action.
that scene,
It's so hot
I just wrote, well, let's hope that doesn't awaken anything in me.
it
Oh god.
and beyond help.
Oh,
And beyond
oh god.
help. I think it's so fucking hot.
It
Um,
is.
mm,
Mm, it's just that I think over these next
episode
two
five,
episodes, there's
episode
so much
five
horny.
of season one was hot. We had a similar scene. This one beyond hot. Like it's 5 fire emojis. The
The
last one
ridiculous.
was 4 fire emojis.
Exactly. And then there's the first season was just like a very small like kitchen knife. And then this time Villanelle pulls like a fucking huge knife. And
A
like
sexy knife.
I am trying not to think of symbolism here. I am trying, especially because how we've been handling stabbing so far. So let's not think too deeply about that one. And uh
Basically, like I don't know, it's so hot.
it
When
is just
Villanelle is saying
like
like
the
I'm
closeness.
expensive, I'm
Yeah.
expensive.
With the
Will you
knife
give
just
me
sliding
every
down.
Will you give me
Uh,
everything I want, babe?
anything.
Anything you want,
Oh
honestly.
god. Oh god. Um then Eve just says yes. And we all agree. Yes.
Yeah,
Anything.
and she's kind of dazed after this because they come out of the apartment and she forgets to close the door. I think it's the high of it. Like I
Yes.
feel like it's still that thing that she's feeling when people start talking about serial killers and murder.
Yep.
We see Carolyn and Constantine in the car spying on the house. I don't actually know. I mean, I understand that they are in cahoots, so to speak. Uh, like I understand that they're plotting something, but what I want to know is what were they planning to do if Villanelle actually killed?
I think it was a risk they were willing to take because it was like very unlikely. Constantine does know like Villanelle enough to maybe know this is a little beyond an obsession. Especially because of how she like reacted. Constantine is the one that took care of her in Amsterdam,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe he's aware that she's a little too in deep. I
Yeah.
think they know. They were gambling, but I think they know they were not going to kill each other yet. So,
Villanelle comes with Eve. They go to this forest. What I really liked, and I think we get more of Villanelle's vulnerability as like the episode go, because she says, Eve, are you sure this is not illegal? Like what we're doing here. And obviously Villanelle doesn't care for herself because she's a murderer, but she does care about Eve and what Eve values, because it seems like Eve values her career. So if she
yeah,
does this and it comes out, scandal. Uh, Basically, what happens is Villanelle goes into the what is
container.
called container. Yeah, goes into the container. There's the ghost is there. She's cuffed to the chair, and she asks Eve if she wants to watch. I think Eve actually really deep down her dark side wanted to watch, but like the social like shell doesn't allow her. Also,
Yes.
the way she reacts after, and like that moment is where I wanted to talk about Hannibal, because Eve finally starts getting fed up with. I mean, Villanelle starts getting fed up with Eve's behavior. A
Yeah.
similar thing happened to Hannibal in the third season, because both Eve and Will at some point started showing signs that their partners, we're going to call them that, uh, clocked, as in like the dark side, the like the side that they're trying to hide,
Yeah.
and only they were allowed to see it. So they're pissed off when it's like gaslighting, honestly, because uh, you're doing one thing, but then like time passes and you're saying something else entirely.
Yeah, it's like, oh, could you buy me this thing? And you like, here, I bought you this thing. Why would you spend that much money, or why would
Yeah,
you
I didn't
do
even
that?
ask.
So it's just like, ma'am, you asked her to go interrogate.
Yes, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
brought her there for that reason. So, um, that I understand. Like, Villanelle's annoyance. She just walked away from that one because she thought like, okay, we're gonna be working together. But it's that moment where it's like, why did you bring me here if you're still going to act disgusted and like I am the worst for doing this when you ask me to do
Asked for
it?
it. Yeah.
So she's like, make up your mind and walks away.
This same thing happened to Will and Hannibal. I
Yeah,
don't remember the exact episode, but oh, when Hannibal was saying like, I don't even know with whom, but I remember that we've talked about this. When he was like, I'm pissed off that I'm the bad guy here when Will is no better. You know?
yeah.
That moment, it's similar
Yeah,
to this.
it's just that it presents several times where Hannibal can clearly see that Will is was like, I don't know, thinking the same thing about like, oh, maybe we should kill this person. But and then immediately they are both annoyed that they get cold feet and
Yeah.
immediately jump back to being defensive and like
Yeah.
hide behind morality.
Hmm.
That comes up like several times. It's just that that well, I got it for like Catholic guilt, but it's just like you do something and then immediately go, oh my God, but it's a sin. What am I doing? Jesus will hate me. Oh my God, flashbacks from Catholic school. Um, Not fun times, but it's just that annoyance of like make up your mind and stop because it's not only like you feel bad about it, is you feeling bad about it and making like you should feel bad as well.
Hmm.
So I get it, I get it.
Yeah. So then
I'm still curious,
what
what
happened to the
the
ghost?
shit did Villanelle do?
I think it's maybe it's tied. Maybe this other people have families and have other things in their
Yeah.
lives, and maybe Villanelle knows things about them because she didn't have anything on her body. Like she didn't torture her physically.
Yeah. The only difference I remember the first time I watched the episode I was just like, "Oh, I can't hear like any screaming or anything." Usually in those scenes, they leave you like up in your mind to imagine what is happening, and usually you hear screaming and then see the
Yeah,
aftermath. So there was silence and I was just like, "Okay, maybe they're just like cutting the like not using screams or anything." And when she walks in there's going to be like a massacre or something. And then she walks in and nothing is different. She's just sitting still. The only difference is that the ghost isn't tied.
yeah.
The handcuffs and everything, like all the chains and everything, are like bundled up in a corner. Um,
I think it's I think it's
Psychological, yeah.
psychological. Yeah, we don't know really.
Because
I
from
think
the
it's
start,
information that she has.
yeah, it's just like from the start, I was very confused by how scared the ghost was of Villanelle. Because like, why did they have a run in before? uh,
Maybe.
because again we are also very spoiled of barely knowing just how bad Villanelle can get. We have seen her kill people. We know how
Yeah.
like what she is capable of. We have seen her manipulate others like Nadia, and
Hmm.
how she like I don't know, can she shot Constantine and stuff like that. So we know like where her the extent of her is like that. But to see another killer actually afraid of her
Hmm.
seems a little bit odd, and I think we needed a little bit more either context or evidence because
Information.
it just felt more like because we say so. I don't know if it's because we are too used to Villanelle that we don't really see her as a scary, super scary threat.
I
But
think
to
that's
her, that
true.
woman is.
I think that's
Be-
part of it, but also maybe Villanelle is a bit higher in the hierarchy of
yeah,
like
of the
the
killers.
12. Yeah, we don't know much about this organization yet. I think season 4 maybe is going to shine a light on it. So the end scene is of Villanelle in the most stunning outfit that she ever wears on the show.
Yeah,
Like I love it. It's very dark academia. Uh,
exactly.
she goes to Oxford to see Nico, and I think she's extra pissed off because Eve acted the way she acted.
Yeah,
She goes to Nico. Nico, I started respecting him because he's like went a little bit like he put some distance between himself and his students.
yeah,
He didn't go into the crowd to like attract attention because he was scared. He was immediately like, let's go somewhere because he
yeah.
didn't want harm to come to them. And he like that was funny actually. He tries to attack her and then actually laughed because with
There
all
was
the
an
things that
attempt,
yeah the with all the things that like I'd recommend you to like stay as far away as possible. You don't know what she has. She might have a gun, she might have a knife, anything. Um, and she plays along so well. She could have like fought him off, but she plays this dainty lady and even like squeaks a little bit for his enjoyment.
yeah, like it hurt.
It hurts. But she came to just ruin their marriage. That's the goal. She's like, "Oh, your wife actually stabbed me. You don't believe me? Look."
But I love the way that she's talking about the stabbing as
Yeah,
if she was like, "Did you know I slept with your wife in Paris?"
yeah,
It was that exact tone, and Nico's reaction was exactly
yeah,
that. It's just like,
yeah.
"Did you know we had an affair in Paris?"
Uh huh.
Not like an actual stabbing.
Hmm. And she says,
I have
"Oh,
no.
I didn't know that you have it in you to be this aggressive. You should try it with your wife. She'd love this." She's not wrong.
She's no.
She's not wrong.
Oh Lord. So
And she tells him smell you later, which is the title
of the
of the
episode.
episode. Next
It,
episode,
yes,
she
he,
actually tries it with his wife.
yes, the face that Sandra makes when
Makes
she's on her knees.
she fully used all her acting chops for that.
I needed a moment after that.
She's
Ma'am,
like she's like fully like the moment he went full aggro, she's like, take me. I'm so turned on.
that is,
He's been waiting for this moment for years
yes,
and years, I think.
damn.
And she's immediately so satisfied the next day. She's so motherfucking flirty. She's like, oh, it feels like we just had a one night stand.
Yes.
We know that she loves danger. She loves the idea of sleeping with someone who's like a little bit bad, you know? Who's like can do something to her, you
A
know?
little touch of unhinged is very
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah, she's like, I mean, it's definitely why she's attracted to 𝕊𝕋. Um, and he tries it on her, and then he's immediately disgusted. Of course, he's like, I don't want to do anything with you. Like, I don't want to be in your presence. Like, fuck you. We're
Yeah,
separated,
he
basically.
wasn't into it.
Yeah.
And
I
but
mean,
oh,
I
what
feel like
else?
he was really upset because this other woman told him to do this, and it
Yeah,
worked. Which means that this other woman knows more about his wife than he does.
yeah. And again, it's just that uh whole like underlying intimacy of the conversation that she talked, like
Mhm.
she says, again, it's like Villanelle made it sound like they had an affair,
Mhm.
and Nico's just like, oh my god, this woman is a lot fucking closer than I thought
Yeah.
to like Eve, because again, we don't realize, because we don't really care, that Eve really doesn't talk to Nico about any of this.
Yeah.
Only like he demands answers or something, that's when he gets a
Thing
few.
is, if they were actually in a real committed relationship, she would tell him this stuff.
Yeah. When and he specifically like got stuck on the when you came back from Paris, you said nothing was wrong and you didn't tell me anything. We could have
Mhm.
talked.
Mhm.
And because she was like very shaken when she thought she killed her. So uh I think that moment he just realized that he doesn't know his wife. This other woman really does suspiciously well. And there is something there that he does not want to get in the middle of.
Yeah.
So he fucks off
I mean,
with
it was definitely coming, you
yeah.
know.
I actually like from the very start from of the season, he
Mhm.
was already like considering just like me, this is not working, and they already had like more than enough problems from
Mhm.
season one.
Mhm.
Uh, I think that moment when they should have like left, I think things was before she went to Russia.
Mhm.
When they had like the argument that she slapped him.
Mhm.
I think that moment that was a breaking point, and everything else after that was just like this passive aggressive. We're not ending this, but we're not okay being together either. So it's a weird limbo they
Their
got stuck in.
relationship was shaky for a while now.
Yeah,
Um, so that's that. Do you want to talk about another iconic outfit? Basically,
it's
what happens? Yeah. So the um the ghost tells them that the person that hired her was Iron Peel, which was very obvious.
yeah,
Um, they want to stake him out, basically, uh, to like find ways to get closer to him. and they figure out that the way to do this would be through his sister, because
Yeah,
she's literally the only person
that he trusts.
that he trusts. It's their relationship is very interesting, and I
Yes.
would have loved to know more about this, because she seems like the only exception. Some serial killers have only exceptions, as in, like, they don't touch their wives, or they don't touch their children, or,
Yeah.
like, they're actually active serial killers, but they don't touch certain people.
Yeah.
She seems either to be the only exception, or there's some underlying level of violence that we like. There were hints of this,
It's just
but
because we see on the behavior of the sister that she like if somebody gets that deep into like alcohol and drugs, they are escaping from something. So you look at their lives and see what are you running away from. Uh, and we see that if he trusts his sister, he keeps her close all the time, and then
do you think she
that
knows?
then
I
I
think
don't
she
think she
suspects,
knows.
at
See,
least.
yeah, she suspects that something is off about him, and that she knows he has a bad temper. She knows he is an asshole, and that he has her like uh is that lady was not like a bodyguard, the one that like it can went with her to like the AA meetings.
She's kind of is.
So when the sister goes out, she's like under surveillance.
Yeah, but
So
it's kind of served to us under the sauce of, like, she needs the surveillance because she's a crack
yes,
addict, which
exactly.
I don't think is the real reason. The actually what was the most interesting to me in their dynamic, it's like this little micro moment when they're at the table, and she's putting sauce on her, like, food, and he's literally, like, talking to her and, like, singing a songy, like, voice, the voice you would
They're
talk to
like
a child
children.
with. Yes. Like, he treats her like a child a little bit, and he demands, without saying words, for her to pour some sauce on his plate. And for
Yeah,
me, this literally, like, the hair on my hand stood up. Like,
yeah.
this was the creepiest moment for me. Like, I felt like something was wrong there. And
I think
she had this face like she didn't want to disappoint him, or, like, make him angry, you know?
yes. So I think like we have seen in this and many other instances that serial killers do have an exception, but they also sometimes latch on to somebody like a pet or like
Mhm.
somebody under their control.
Mhm.
Um, for Hannibal, it was just like maybe I don't know Abigail.
Yeah.
So it's like you are mine, and I'm going to control you, and you're going to be here with me. So I think because there's also very interesting when once Villanelle enters the picture, we don't see the sister again.
Mhm.
Like when he asks Villanelle out by herself, we don't see the sister again.
Yeah, the sister disappeared.
So Villanelle became like a replacement for that, different because he was like
No,
incredibly turned on that this woman
in
was
her in her he sees sort of an equal. He sort of sees a partner, a
yeah,
person that can he admires her in a way, especially when he finally figures out that she's a murderer. Like,
yes,
and he figures it out. Um, so let's start from the beginning. They want to put Villanelle um, in. I wanted to say in drag, not in drag. They want to
in a disguise, yeah.
yeah, put Villanelle in disguise and to make her go to anonymous addicts meeting, because Aaron's sister goes to this meeting, and they want her to make friends with her, and to basically the words, the words that I have in my brain are just not, they're not good. I wanted to say penetrate. I wanted her to, I mean, you can say
Infiltrate?
that infiltrate, of course, to infiltrate their family.
Yes.
Penetrate their family.
Well,
Horn dog alert.
to be fair,
Basically,
these episodes are very horny. So
yeah,
there's
basic,
the yeah, go.
basically, Eve comes to Villanelle's apartment, which is very chic. Um,
I still miss
and
the Paris apartment, but this one is
yeah,
good.
this one is good. And she's like making her, like, she's telling her about the case and what she has to do. And Villanelle is just so hot. That's all I wanted to say.
The
Just so
outfit,
hot.
like the jacket, the
The
pants,
outfit, I feel like it's not
it's the
the
confidence.
outfit, it's the confidence, because the outfit is very basic. It's like
Yeah.
just a jacket. She looks really good in it, but it's the confidence. And she's like doing all these accents, and I'm like, tell me more. Tell me
Yes.
more.
Oh, in my very helpful notes, I wrote, "You can't tell me they won't role play like this in the future."
Reading my mind. Reading my mind.
Because like Villanelle was just like listing the options, and she's like, "Oh, and what about Billy? Like an American that has like a very annoying accent." And he was like, "Tell me
Oh,
more about
I
her."
love Billy.
Oh my god. That face.
Damn.
That they're gonna role play in the future, and we already know Vinny loves a little bit of role play as well.
Yeah,
So mm,
that hide and seek game was completely bananas. So what happens is Villanelle agrees, and they put her in a pink wig, which actually suits her, and they make her go to this meeting. Uh, she fucks up the first time, and basically is not being serious about anything, which is very Villanelle. But they talk with Eve after, because Eve is kind of like, you're disappointed, you're disappointing me, and the conversation becomes very pointed, because Eve is kind of like, it's hard to be a good, decent person, and it's once again Eve projecting on Villanelle her own issues, and
yeah,
Villanelle is fed up with it. She's like, I like you, but I don't like you that much, bitch. Like,
don't
don't
talk to
do
me
this
like
to
that
me.
again.
Yeah. And Eve immediately, like, it's a boundary. She's immediately like, oh, okay, so I can't do this. Like, I thought I'm invincible, and I'm not invincible, actually. She goes into a second round of therapy, and this time she pours her heart out. Like, we don't really know how much of it is true, but I think a lot of it is
It
true,
it does
honestly.
feel like she was telling the truth,
Yeah.
and that was like, I don't know if we like with the same emotion,
Hmm.
like she's crying and everything, but it does feel like that is the truth about how she feels. The
True-ish, at least.
like, yeah. My God,
Believable.
yeah. Oh my God, my.
You okay?
God,
Go drink some water.
my-
Fine?
I got
Good.
sick
Yeah, I
like 2 weeks
remember.
ago,
Hmm.
and I still have this weird cough that it feels like my lungs are rattling in my chest. Not fun, but it's mostly gone. It just comes like at random times.
You
Anyway,
need some syrups
uh,
for that. Like a
I am
cough
so
syrup.
angry that I was locked up for 2 fucking years, and my sister comes home and spreads the virus.
I mean,
Ugh.
it's not proven yet that she's the reason.
She is the reason. She came home from a fucking music festival. She was sick, and now everybody was sick,
Okay.
and we all got sick. Mm. But it's okay. We're fine.
Um,
What else?
yeah,
Oh,
they are
they
accepting her speech actually this time
yeah.
because last time they were making fun of her. And it's funny because she was telling literally word for word Eve's story, and they made
Yeah.
fun of her and were like, "Oh yeah, play the victim." And it's literally what Eve needed
Exactly.
to hear, like, "Play the
I
victim,
love that.
girl. Play the victim."
And I was so mad, like stop using me in my
Yeah,
life. Um,
yeah.
so this second time it works. They start talking and like smoking, I think, on the steps outside of the
Mhm.
place. And oh, we skipped a little piece where on the after the first session, uh, they start talking. What is the name of the sister? I forgot. Well, Aaron's sister, they starts talking to Villanelle, and then the lady that is like the bodyguard comes over and is like, "We need to go." And just then, Villanelle had like picked up a
Takes
dead fly,
a dead fly
and
and puts it in a
and
cupcake.
exactly, and the lady grabs the cupcake and bites the exact place. There's a second where Villanelle just has like to keep herself from just like
Yep.
acknowledging that the lady just bit into the fucking muffin with the fly in
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that is so disgusting. So the
And I
second,
think what's interesting for me that the next part is when, like, the next scene is when Villanelle pushes this woman under the bus because
yes,
she was a little bit more vulnerable than usual and immediately was angry about it. I was like,
yes,
I opened myself up. I now have to do something bad.
it took an effort to have another emotion. Emotions are difficult. So she goes and at first just like tries to talk to the woman. It's just like
Hmm.
leave her alone, back away,
Hmm.
let me like let us talk and everything.
Hmm.
And she tries a second time. Like you
Hmm.
need to like give her space and stuff like that. And it's just like I'm sorry, I snapped, and then goes for a hug
Hmm.
and pushes the bitch into traffic.
Hmm.
And it's just that moment of connection with the previous episode
Hmm.
where Eve almost pushed the man into the subway,
Hmm.
and then we get the scene of Vanilla doing it without a second of hesitation, just pushing
Thing
a bitch into traffic.
thing about Villanelle is when she's made to feel vulnerable and or stupid, she immediately needs to remind herself how bad of a bitch she is,
Yes,
because we've seen it a similar thing when basically I don't remember exactly what happened, but Eve rejected her in a way where like she didn't get what she wanted and was vulnerable. She went to a party. It was in a recent episode. She went to a party and wanted to literally murder a girl in the stall.
yeah. Villanelle has usually three ways to like handle unpleasant emotions, and that is
Murder?
buying things, violence, or sex. And in this episodes, we see her like using her coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
So on that, she killed the woman like pushing her into traffic, and then later on she just like goes home with
Two girls.
yes,
Thing is, she actually had a plan. She wanted to kill them. They were just too nice, and she was like, "Oh, okay. I think I can. I think I can seduce them both." So like,
yes,
uh, thing thing is, like, the first thing that she thinks about is violence because she was like at the what is this dish called? It's Turkish. It's
that,
meat wrapped in
yes.
like okay, whatever. She's like
It's just that
she's like at the street meats place
we
and
have something similar in Mexico. That's why I'm a little confused about how it's called
I mean, we
because
also have it here and it's called differently here as well. Um she basically like okay, we're going to talk about it later. I don't know. We're just
Yes,
jumping around. Basically, Iron sister invites Billy to their house. They live together. To their
yes,
house, they're two adults with a lot of money, and they live together. So, uh, invites Billy in. Billy is in full Billy drag. I'm going to call it drag because it's
it is.
drag. Um, and Billy doesn't read her assignment, doesn't read anything on stuff that she needs to know about. And she's apparently has two philosophy degrees,
Degrees, yeah.
doesn't know a shit about philosophy, and like she's immediately picking up on the weird dynamic between the brother and the sister. At the table with the sauce, like while they're playing cards, the guy immediately tries to put. It's interesting because I think he's so used to putting every single person down, and his sister too. His immediate reaction to a new person is to like squash them, to try to squash
Yes,
them, and he's upset when it's not happening,
working.
like
Yeah.
it's not working with Billy. He's like,
He
what the
he
fuck is wrong
loves
with this girl?
he loves to be specifically very humiliating to others. He
Yeah,
likes humiliating people. And like at first in the table they're
people.
being weird, and then when they're playing games, just like a weird game. And she's like, "Oh, you're struggling with the rules of a game that it's for like an
Yeah,
8-year-old that even this dummy," and points at his sister, "can understand." So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
that backhanded comment,
Hmm.
because for a second on the first interaction they're so creepy, but you're like, okay, it's very weird, very unsettling, but maybe he doesn't treat his sister that shitty. And then you see that he does, and the sister doesn't say anything, doesn't get angry, she's just like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's
well.
like, that's fine. Like
So
that's how we talk.
in that moment you kind of connect the dots of like, oh, this is why his sister gets drunk and high all the time. Somebody would need that to be around
Hmm.
this man for so long.
Hmm.
And so he starts just like trying to humiliate her.
Hmm.
Yeah, he already caught Billy snooping around the house. And I
Hmm.
love that she's just like, sometimes the truth is very useful. Just like, I'm just snooping around, not trying to make
Hmm.
an excuse or anything.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he
she's
just,
playing the role of a ditz that is like maybe is a bit kleptomaniac, maybe
yeah,
like still sometimes to get dragged, kind of
it's just
that type of girl.
using flaws to hide like the real like purpose. It's very
Hmm.
smart, because if you cannot play like perfectly innocent, don't,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
just use up other flaws to hide the real ones.
Basically, what he catches her on is on her lack of knowledge about philosophy, and she has two philosophy degrees apparently. And she's like, he's trying to humiliate her. It's especially like obvious when he's like circling around her like a shark.
Yeah.
And she's so pissed off, you can tell, because she's like scratching up her tights.
Yes.
And like, the. I think it's like she knows that she can literally kill him and his sister and get away with it. But because she promised, like it's a hard thing for her because she promised something to Eve and she
Yeah.
wants to go through with it. She can't do what she usually does, which is like if someone humiliates her, murder them.
Yes.
Uh, so it's but she does she loses her cool a little bit and smacks him across the face really hard.
That was so satisfying. That was
Yeah,
so good. After,
yeah.
specifically after how fucking annoying he is on these scenes,
Mhm.
this dumbass goes and throws a book on her lap. Like, maybe you should read something.
Fuck her.
Smack that bitch on the face. Ah.
And she
So,
does. It's
yeah.
funny to me that Constantine and Eve were listening on the conversation and and they were like, "What happened?" And this guy's like, "You broke my nose or something? My nose is bleeding." And Constantine's like, now we know what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
Filling in the
mean,
context.
she was really pissed off, and I think there were two reasons why she was mad at the end of the episode. First is that he humiliated her and he didn't get what he deserved actually at the end.
Yeah.
And the second one is that she thinks that she flopped the assignment, which means
Yes.
that there's no like future. Like she can't pretend to be Billy anymore, which
Yes.
means that she's out of the assignment and she wants to be in the assignment for reasons. Um, so basically, it actually turns him on more. He's like, this girl is fighting me. No one ever fought me before. How hot. I cannot get over how into it he was. It was so funny. He literally came in his pants the moment she slapped him.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had like a solid woody after.
Oh
Um,
my god.
like of
Definitely.
course. Are we even arguing? Like, I think we're not arguing about this. And what's happening after is iconic. I think she goes to this street meat shop and orders herself kebab. It's called a kebab.
Oh,
Orders herself a kebab and is kind of asking about the meat content in it. And the guy is like people would
mostly
eat
lamb.
whatever, like it's mostly lamb, but people would eat anything. You can put any kind of meat in it, and she gets like we see that she's thinking about it, and she like we know what she's thinking about. She wants to put someone in a kebab, and
Yeah.
these two girls are clearly coming in after a party or something. They're counting pennies, trying to get like some
Um,
Doritos and a Coke or
they
two.
there is this also like this in where they are putting like the two like pillars of meat. That sounds weird. Like the
Yeah,
two
yeah,
like
yeah.
spikes with the meat. There's two
Mm-hmm.
of them, and they're on a plate. There's two heads, two lamb heads
Mm-hmm.
on the plate. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like the two rolls of meat, the two
The
heads,
two
and
lambs.
then two ladies walk in, and
Mm-hmm.
they start like, oh my god, is she going to go like full Hannibal
Yeah, yeah,
Lecter on
yeah,
them?
yeah, 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 yeah. We've
And
seen it before, so it's an actual worry.
yes,
And she starts stealing them in the night. And it gets real creepy. I was like, she's actually going to murder them. At least the
yes,
first time I've seen the show. Uh, and they're like scared, and they're like seeing her, and they're like, "Oh my god, we're so happy it's you! Like, we thought we are in trouble. Do you want to walk with us because it's safer this way?" And I think she's kind of like, "Oh, okay. Like they're hot. I can seduce them, and also like they're nice."
they're nice and
So
they're hot. Sounds good. Maybe
yeah,
not
she's like,
murder.
I can handle them. Like, it's definitely something that she decides in the moment because she was very keen on murdering them.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I guess I'll go with sex.
And because they also like I guess like their offense was that the guy served them first rather than her.
Hmm.
But I'm glad she didn't choose violence this time. Good for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's an improvement. Also, like a small detail that I wanted to talk about. The cafe they're sitting in with Eve in the middle of the episode is right near Gaze the World, which is a gay bookshop.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. They should have placed like a little shot in the background of that.
I
That would
mean,
have been good.
you can see a part of it, like a part of the
Display?
title, part of the
Mm.
title of the shop. So they're being gay without they're being outwardly gay in it.
Yes. Oh, and we skipped over the part because we don't care much. Over the part
Yeah.
where Eve goes to look for Nico and he's
Oh,
staying.
I forgot about it. Literally, don't
Yes,
care about him.
because we don't. Yeah, we don't care. He's staying with Gemma.
Of course, of course. he immediately went for a vagina that accepts him. Like a vagina
It's
that wants me. Let's go.
oh my god. And
That's actually really annoying. Like,
no, especially because he's like, "Why are you here and why are you angry? I am just staying on the couch." Sir, the
please,
fuck, you know what you're doing. You're not
please.
blind. So, and he
That's
was just
how
like,
people.
"You know
That's
what
how
you're
people
doing."
get married. That's how people get married and get a child a week after breaking up with somebody. That's
Yes.
like the recipe for that.
And it's just so ridiculous because it's on both ends. It's kind of pathetic because this Gemma is trying desperately to find a man simply because she
Mhm.
doesn't want to be single,
Yeah.
and Nico is just like, oh, this is a woman that values me and she likes me and she thinks I am I don't know, good or amazing or something. And he's like,
Yeah.
sir, I know it's important to feel valued, but you don't.
It's a
What
stretch.
are
You don't
you
even
doing
like
there?
her. I mean, he
Exactly.
maybe superficially likes her. I
But
mean,
not
she's
like
attractive. Maybe
exactly.
that's. But
And
also,
also
Eve goes ham with the
underwear
music,
drawer. Oh
with the
yeah, the
underwear
music
drawer
box.
and the music box.
Um, I still don't know what she was going to do with like the doll and the bra. That was a little bit odd.
I
I don't know
think
if she was trying
she
right.
didn't
I don't
think
know.
this through. She didn't think this through. She was
And
like,
also
"What the fuck is going on?"
I kept looking like the house that Gemma's living in is so fitting of her, like the decoration and
It's
everything.
cute.
It looks, yeah, it looks like Pinterest puked on that place and boom,
Hmm.
there's the house decoration.
I mean,
It looks, it looks like every bedroom inspo I have seen on like Pinterest
mhm.
with the things like the pictures and the little pom poms hanging on, like the colors of the walls, the
she's
decor.
she's a middle school teacher, so I
I don't
feel like
know.
she's the stereotype of a middle school
There
teacher.
is something
Her house, at
so
least.
there's something so like immature and childish about her.
Hmm.
Not necessarily like in that way because I have seen people with houses like that, but they look different, like intentional. This seems like I don't know, unironical. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know
she
how to explain
really
it.
she vibes with it. It's not.
Yes,
Yeah, it's not
it's just
ironic.
that because I have seen it. I have seen like many apartments where like the walls get have like very vivid colors and they're like very nice. Um, it's just a lot of ideas, but none of them put like correctly together. If you know what I mean. It looks like a
Hmm.
catalog instead of like an actual house where somebody lives in. So, but that was like the set design, I guess.
I mean, I personally don't like this
Like
character.
she's trying too hard. That is the word. Even with like her appearance, her outfits, her personality, even her house, it always looks like she's trying so hard. It doesn't seem like effortless.
I honestly, I don't even know if. Oh, we're not going to talk about spoilers. We're going to talk about it next time. Yeah.
Okay. Also, we also forgot to say because there's another parallel here. When Villanelle is bored, she gets into Eve's house and
Yeah.
starts messing with everything. She hides
Yeah.
the mail. She puts a piece of banana in the salt. She grabs Eve's toothbrush
So
and
fucking
begins brushing
stupid.
her teeth with it.
So
So
fucking stupid.
and the music, like, oh my god, you little goblin. I loved it. That scene was great.
He's
And
just
then
doing it to mess with her, and it's so funny to me.
exactly. And
Same
that is
thing happened with
after
Hannibal and Will. Yeah, I remember.
then there's that happened after like the morning after uh Nico gets home like in the rain to go and sex up
Yeah,
his
yeah,
wife. And Villanelle is outside standing in the rain looking in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so it's just like, I'm angry. I'm gonna trash the place a little bit. And she
Later.
goes
Hmm.
she goes to make a little bit of a mess. And And then we get Eve that has the same impulse of like, I am annoyed, I am jealous. I'm not really jealous, but I'm annoyed, so I'm gonna trash this place. And she just like messes up the
She's
underwear
definitely not
drawer.
jealous. She's like, I
Offended,
had, yeah, no,
annoyed.
we talked about this mm, parallel with like RPG games. She had some weapons and they took every single one of them away from her, and she's like, what do I have left? Nothing, you know? So she's like, this check took everything from me. I need to go see her house. Something
And
like
like
that.
Gemma is just like, I don't know what you're doing, but like I don't want to
I
get in the
mean,
middle of this. Don't drag me into it.
yeah.
Ma'am,
I,
you dragged yourself?
I think the most annoying part of it is that she's trying to play innocent.
Yes. And like you're not chasing after a married
You
man.
fully know that he was married. You fully knew that he was married. You've seen his wife,
And
and
again,
like,
she's lucky because I have seen like wives that go full Fight Club on the girls that break their cars, break their house, like break
yeah.
windows, uh, like spray paint everything. There's people that go crazy over this. So
I
actually,
mean,
like Eve's
yes.
reaction was pretty mild because she doesn't actually
I
care.
mean, it was creepy, but still.
Yeah.
I have we missed anything else? I don't think so.
Mm. Mm-mm.
No. I guess that's it then.
Oh, there
It's
was
getting
that
what?
there was that little scene where seriously, poor Kenny, where Constantine is cooking in the kitchen, and then another man comes
Oh, there's
down,
another
and then
man. Yeah.
Kenny's just like, I'm gonna leave. Poor Kenny.
Kenny needs his own apartment.
Yes,
Sad.
he has seen enough of
His mother's
his mother
lovers,
and yeah,
and they're
and
all
her
naked
old
all the
friends.
time, and I'm like, put some pants on.
It's just it's something else that encounter. Also, I was confused. Like, who the fuck mixes eggs in like a flower pot? That was weird. That was like a glass container like this long. Like, why are you mixing eggs there? I don't know. It just weirded me
I
out.
think maybe it was a bullet mixer, and like bullet mixers. They have these containers, and then you put like
It's a.
um
It looks like a flower pot, like those glass vases
yeah,
that
yeah,
are
yeah,
like
I
very
get it.
square. So
Some
I don't.
bullet some bullet mixers look like that.
Oh God, it was just weird. And I think that is it
I think he was making a smoothie or something, or kind of a smoothie, sort of. I don't know.
with eggs. Ugh. Well,
Okay,
if they're
do
used,
that. People do
yeah,
that. Yeah. Okay
I
then.
haven't tried that.
I think
Uh,
then this is it. Then, right? I think we're
yeah,
done. We're done. It's getting hot
the
in
last
here.
the last of my
The
notes
next
just
the next
said,
two episodes.
oh yeah, the last of my notes just said mood. It was when Villanelle punched him, like hit him in the face with a book. Yes, nice.
Forever iconic. I guess I'll see you and everyone watching in a week. I don't have
Yeah,
anything planned. I don't think so. So next Sunday, I think Sunday works well for us. Um,
I'm going to an appointment tomorrow. So we'll
tomorrow.
see how it goes. I'm gonna get a tooth removed.
Oh,
So
okay.
you know the drill. Here we don't use like very good anesthetic. So it's going to be fun getting a tooth yanked out of my jaw. So
That
we'll
excellent.
see. I'm pretty sure that by like next Sunday it's going to be like down because I'm going tomorrow.
You should
So
like take some painkillers before that.
fun times. Um. Oh God,
Good
fun times.
luck with that.
Yes. So we'll see like if how swollen it is for like next week. I think it'll be
Mhm.
fine by next week
I
because
mean,
like the
should be.
first 2 or 3 days I can't even speak. So fun.
Yeah,
We'll
sounds
see.
like fun. Okay, then. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week,
Bye.
hopefully.